great game last night by the Indiana Fever. And what you're seeing is you seeing the other players on the court getting confidence on what they need to do. There was never a case if they could or could not do it with or without Caitlin Clark. And now they saying that part out loud. Yes, we can win without Caitlin Clark, but they do acknowledge you still have to be consistent. You still have to execute on the court, is what Stephanie White said.
And we can't have those. You know, we've got to maintain elite execution on both ends. I thought the second half the ball moved better. Look, there's no defense for turnovers that lead to scores, and I think they had 13 points off of turnovers in the first half. We did a much better job of taking care of the ball, and that's our first line of defense, and we did a much better job of that in the second.
So the coach is acknowledging it. The players understand what they got to do. They're not stupid. They understand who is one of the better players on the court when she's healthy, but she's not. That's the reality of it. So next man up, somebody got to step up. Sophie Cunningham said it perfectly. She didn't pull no punches about it. And I guarantee you, it's going to be some people out there that's going to try to take it as disrespect. Oh, she dissing Caitlin. She's saying we don't need her. Like, nope, that ain't what she said. All she said was, if Caitlin is on the court, that is great. We know how to play with her on the court. If she's not on the court, great. We know how to play without her. That's the way it's supposed to be.
I don't think that it affects us anymore. We put out a statement today that, you know, she's day to day. And so we know that as a team. And so that's helpful to mentally prepare. But I really do think that, you know, if we have Caitlin, great, and we know how to play with her. If we don't have Caitlin, great, we know how to play without her. And I think that's just so important. It gives people confidence that when she is back, you know, they know their role. And then when she's not, they have the confidence to come out there and make big plays for us. And so for us, I don't really think it's something that we think about anymore. For us, it's taking one day at a time, stacking the days. And tonight, I think we did a really good job, not only physically, but seriously mentally, because we have been struggling and inconsistent when they go on runs, and we stopped it. And then we went on our runs. And so that's a big step for us. And I just said it, but it's all about consistency from here on out.
You should not be dependent upon one player to make a team. Now, I understand. Let's look at the reality of the situation. A lot of times it's like that. That's why you have superstar players. That ain't no secret. But at the end of the day, injuries are a real part of professional sports. And if somebody goes down, who's going to step up and fill in that production? For the Indiana Fever, it's been Kelsey Mitchell.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just telling her, like, let it fly. It's going to go, you know, and then helping her recalibrate when she's attacking the rim and to staying on balance. That's when she makes her best reads and her best decisions, and then to keep shooting it from outside. You know, she made some big ones when we needed them.
Last night, it was Natasha Howard. They got to get that combination of both. Who had Sophie Cunningham shooting the way she's shooting on a bingo card? I certainly didn't. She taking minutes from Lexi Hall, but she done earned the minutes. Hustle, defense. Indiana is still a defensive team. They know how to play without Caitlin Clark, and they're getting more comfortable on what they need to do when Caitlin Clark is not on the court, because I still say nobody can pass like Caitlin Clark. So you got to find another way. You got to be consistent. And what's the one thing that I've been saying? Because they have been playing great defense, but on the other side of that defensive stop, when they got to convert on the offensive side, they have been struggling. They have been inconsistent. So they got to get that part together. And if they continue to do what they've been doing, if they continue to play in the second half, the third, the fourth quarter, like they did last night against Las Vegas, they're going to string together some wins. But they have to stay consistent on defense, and they got to convert on those offensive sides of the ball. They have to do that. And of course, they got to make the open shots. Last night in the second half, they made their open shots. Not contested. Teams are going to play defense. The other team gets paid too. So you're going to run into trouble like that. But sometimes you run the right play. Your man that you want to get open gets open, and they get that open look. You got to drill those shots. That's what makes the difference. Who's making their shots when it comes down the stretch?